Hey Jen, when are you finally going to put up those pictures and posters on the wall behind you so we're not just staring at a white abyss? Why don't you shut up? I'll get to it. Hi, I'm Jen, and welcome to my podcast. Hi, I'm Jen, the podcast where I talk about whatever I want because I'm alone in my house and there's nobody who can stop me. How are you guys? I got some good stuff for you today. I also, myself, had a good day today. Went to my boxing class, and that was really awesome, as it normally is. I can't say I've ever gone and not enjoyed it. I mean, I am in pain and sweaty. Mostly just sweaty now. I'm not in nearly as much pain as I was before. Like after my first class was an introductory class, so didn't feel like I wanted to throw up after that. But like the second and third, definitely was like, I'm gonna throw up. And it's right at that moment when the trainer is like, hey, if you feel like you gotta throw up, that's when you know you're doing it right. And I'm like, cool, okay, I'm doing it right. I did snap my kneecap last night. That was fun. I just existing, didn't do anything like strenuous. I just moved my body and heard a very loud snap, like a true snap, like as if it were into a Slim Jim snap. So that was terrifying. And slept in like a knee sleeve. It's not like a brace or anything. It's just like a compression sleeve. And wore that all day today. Wore that during my workout. And they were asking us to do these like surrender squats or something like that. And my knees could not do it. I'm like, nope, I'm just going to go for some normal ass squats. If you can hear some scratching, that's not a honey badger. Nope, that's just my cat. Hi, Nikki. Did you hear that? She's being cute. Yeah. She's been quite the mama's girl today. So is City Boy, frankly. He's been all... Hello. Nikki's really trying to get into this. Hi, baby girl. Do any of you notice that you can't speak to your animal friends? You're saying the word pet is weird, but that you can't speak to any of your fur babies in a normal human voice. They have their own voice. So, like for instance, I can't just like, "Hey Nikki, what's up?" It's Nikki. Baby girl, don't eat the tape. Don't eat plastic. Baby, no. Why are you eating Why do you want to eat plastic? And if I only could, I'd make a deal with my cat, and I'd get her to stop eating plastic. She's gonna do what she wants. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. She was being very playful today. And City Boy was just all up in my grill when I was eating my dinner, and that was adorable. And I love them, and I will foster their bad behavior because they're spoiled, and they're all that I have, and I love them so much. So, yeah. You can eat the tape, just in moderation, not enough to cause a blockage that would lead to a vet bill. Thank you so much. I love you. Okay. Anyway, back to whatever I was talking about earlier. Oh, I was at the gym. My knee snapped. Ouch. I've had floating kneecaps for as long as I can remember, and which really is painful and really does suck. My left knee, this story goes perfectly with what I wanted to talk about anyhow. So on my left knee, I have a calcium deposit about the size of a golf ball, because when I was 18, I fractured my kneecap and then never sought medical help for it. So it just did what the body does and just healed on its own. And so now, on top of having floating kneecap, which is where I guess like the cartilage is kind of like folded underneath itself, and so it's not very stable and it sucks. I also fractured that patella, and now there's a calcium deposit on it, kind of gnarly. So running has always been uncomfortable. I can like do squats and shit like that, but at my age and with everything I've done in my life, if anything where I have to actually be on my knees, that usually takes me out of it, which is why those surrender squats was just not happening, because you have to get on your knees. That you're surrendering, you have to get on your knees, and then you have to, it's like one at a time. You get on your knees and then you get off of your knees, and my body was not having it. Hello, how you doing? But went to the gym, and it was awesome, and it was lovely, and it inspired our affirmation of the day, but it's a little early for that. So rewind back to me fracturing my kneecap. So the year was 2000's, and I was in high school. I had a car. It was my first car. It was a shitty car. And got it on the highway, and it shit out on me on the highway. Like the transmission just stopped transmissioning. And a friend and I, we were on our way to Tulsa to see a concert at Kane's Ballroom. And it was my first time driving to Tulsa. It was my first time going to Kane's Ballroom. It was not my first time seeing the band that we were going to go see. But my car shit out, and I'm like, I don't want to miss the show. So, friend that I was with, he calls his mom, and he's like, hey mom, so like, Jen's car kind of shit out, and we're only about halfway to Tulsa, and anyway, like, is it okay if we hitchhike? And she was like, yeah, okay, just be safe, because we were both 18. And so we hitchhiked to Tulsa. In order to hitchhike, a car has to stop to pick you up, right? So this is where it gets good. So it's the nighttime, so there's the darkness, and I don't know if you know this, but the highway doesn't have lights like streets do. So a car finally stops, and we probably weren't even walking very long, but we looked like young hoodlums, even in the darkness. And so somebody stops for us, and of course we start running to make sure that they don't change their mind. And even if they did change their mind, what are we going to do? Chase after them? No. But we start running, and as soon as we both started running as fast as we possibly could, that's when there was zero oncoming traffic. So there are zero headlights. We can't see shit. And my friend is on the outside, so he's closest to where the highway is, and I'm on the inside, I guess, outside. He's on the outside, whatever. He's where the cars are, and I'm where there's just a big steep drop. So we start running. He runs into me, or we run into each other, or whatever. He runs into me. I roll. Because I'm running as fast as I can. He runs into me. I start rolling. And that's how I fracture my kneecap. So guy picks us up. He's like, hey, I'm a former Marine, and, I know how it goes, and yada, yada, and you guys just look like kids, so, blah, 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 blah. He's a good guy. Thanks for picking us up, random stranger. We make it to Kane's Ballroom. As soon as I gave the, ticket booth guy our tickets, band starts with the very, very first song. And I'm like, oh my God, it's destiny. This was meant to happen, and it's all coming together, and it's just beautiful. My knee, not even thinking about it, just happy that we made it to the concert. We make our way to the front row, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Lock eyes with the band, and we're just having a great time. And like I said, I've already seen this band before, and had kind of talked to them before. So after the band is done, the front man is kind of doing meet and greets. He wasn't talking, probably because he strained a vocal cord or something, and he was just trying to, because they had a show the next night too. But he was I don't know, kind of doing meet and greets, doing photos for sure, doing signatures, yeah. And I go up to him and I'm like, hey, William, I bled for your band. And I show him my knee, and it is gushing blood. Not anymore. Probably got a lot on the people that we were dancing behind. But, yes, very bloody, good time. I think we have pictures documenting pretty much the whole night. If I find them, I'll share them for sure. So this is how I fractured my kneecap. Fractured my kneecap going to a concert, very on brand for Jenn. And yeah, you're probably wondering, who was this band? That's why bringing up this story, I wasn't planning on bringing up this story, but it was perfect. Band was called The Academy Is. I'm pretty sure that they have not been together for many moons. But that was the band. So we were seeing them in Tulsa that night. We were seeing them in Oklahoma City the next night. I want to say that album came out in 2005. And that's how long. Sorry, I'm trying to make it look good, and it's just not happening. But yeah, I was looking through some shit today, because I was on the phone with my sister and had a lovely 4-hour conversation with her. It was awesome. And she makes some very sexy sourdough bread. Proud of you, Kelly. She was asking me about Christmas cards, and so I'm like, oh, I know I have some Christmas cards that our brother Matt has sent me, because I keep everything. I keep everything. And I don't know why. I kept a postcard from a girl that did my hair once. Why? Because I'm like, oh, that's sweet. I'm going to put it in this shoebox, and I'm going to take it with me to all of the 3 different states that I live in. And then today I was like, I don't need this postcard anymore, but I took a picture of it and I sent it to my sister, and I'm like, in case I'm ever like, oh no, I really wish I held on to that postcard for whatever reason, at least I have a picture of it. It exists somewhere. But yeah, I was looking through all of this old shit, and I found these old stickers, and I'm like, that's really awesome that I still have these. Of course, I also still have the record, their first and their second. I also, while we're here, we're friends, while we're here, I also found I don't remember what show this was from, but set list. Got a little torn, so that's the song that they opened with. It's also the opening of the record. So that was a little set list from a show. I don't remember which show. Could have been the Tulsa show. Could have been one of the OKC shows. So for my Oklahomies, yeah, that's what the cool kids call you. I'm not a cool kid though. There was a place that used to exist called the Green Door that my cousin turned me on to. And, I mean, truth be told, she also turned me on to the Academy Is. And this next band, LoveHateHero. Almost certain they don't exist anymore. But found this in my shit that I never throw away. So I'm like, hey, isn't that cool? Let's show the people. So yeah, used to be a venue that existed in downtown Oklahoma City called the Green Door, and that's where you could see these up-and-coming bands. In fact, saw Fall Out Boy there in like about the same time frame, 04, 05, 06 maybe, before Sugar We're Going Down ever came out. Got to see Fall Out Boy there. And then it was a beautiful full circle moment when my best friend Rachel took me to see Fall Out Boy at the Paycom Center earlier this year. So it's like, oh, yay, Fall Out Boy, this is so cool. And then I'm like, oh my god, the first time I saw Fall Out Boy was at the Green Door, like before they ever got big. And when their label at the time, Fueled by Ramen, would just like, okay guys, just go, fucking go, just go, just be with the people. And they would do like these big Fueled by Ramen like tours, and same time we saw Fall Out Boy. Like Gym Class Hero was always also there, and they were like the bigger name because they had already been out for a bit longer. Band called Midtown, I think was like, might have been the headliner. Maybe not. I don't really remember. But Midtown, the front man from Midtown, who was also the bassist, if I'm not mistaken, went on to do Cobra Starship. And don't act like you don't know him. Everybody knows him. Whether you want to or not. Just do a little Google search and then you'll be like, oh yeah, that song and that other song. I definitely remember that. If you've seen the blockbuster movie Snakes on a Plane, you've heard Cobra Starship. Yeah, so looking through all this stuff and like, oh, nostalgia, blah, blah, blah. Oh, all this random shit that I held on to for all these years, blah, blah, blah. I also found like some other cool stuff. Guest Room Records sticker. Guest Room Records is a local record store in OKC and Norman. Yay. Also found this. When I discovered the Oklahoma Shirt Company, I was still living in Minnesota, and everybody was like, oh, what are you talking about? Oklahoma is totally part of the Midwest, eh? And I'm like, the f*** it is not. You know why? Because we say shit like y'all and yonder and guitar, and we know how to make chili the right way. Anyway, I got really deep into, like, I'm so proud to be an Oklahoman when I was living in Minnesota because I was just there for so long. I was in the Midwest for so long. And I still haven't touched on, like, the culture shock that it was for me. But, yeah, anytime people were like, what are you talking about? Oklahoma's the Midwest. I'm like, no, it's not. You can argue it's not the Deep South. It is the Southwest. I will argue that. I consider it the Southwest. But that's me. By no means are we the Midwest. And there's a lot of culture and history that goes into, well, what is the difference? There is a big difference. Anyhow. Also, so yeah, got really, really big into the Oklahoma Shirt Company. Did like the Shirt of the Month Club for a long time. I was just known as the girl always sporting an Oklahoma shirt. Because I needed people in Mankato, Minnesota to know I ain't one of y'all. So beware. Anyhow, also found this. Speaking of living in Minnesota for a long time, I talked about how, like, the moment I got into basically where I could pick up Minnesota radio airwaves, immediately started at the bottom and stopped as soon as I heard Space Oddity by David Bowie. And I'm like, I don't know what channel this is, but I'm going to save it as #1, and then just never looked for anything else. Deeply fell in love with the current. Deeply, deeply fell in love with the current. Because great music lives here. Yeah. Also, I don't know why, but I will hold on to stickers until I die. I have like a strange anxiety about stickers where I'm like, well, if I stick them on something, I'll never get it back. So best to just not stick it onto anything. Now it's just a pretty shiny picture that I have to carry with me in a shoebox everywhere I live until I die. So yeah, that's where I found all this lovely stuff, and about a zillion of these. Yeah, so what else did you find, Jen? So for all of you true 90s kids, and when I say 90s kids, I mean kids born in the 80s whose entire childhood was lived through the 90s. You might recognize one of these. The good old CD binder. Because you can't carry around all your jewel cases, and MP3s didn't exist yet! I don't even know if I have... I'm gonna try. Yeah. When was the last time I listened to a CD? Actually, it's hasn't been too long. I'll still listen to CDs. I definitely still buy CDs because I'm a child of the 90s. And yes, streaming music is wonderful. Buying music digitally is wonderful. But technology will fail us. It has failed us before. And that's why I will still buy CDs. I like having a tangible item that I can hold, that I can put onto a shelf, and yeah, it feels good. I also like, even with streaming, if I am very devoted to an artist, so like for instance Megan Thee Stallion, absolutely bought a physical CD of her self-titled record that came out in 24. St. Vincent, when All Born Screaming came out, absolutely bought the CD. She hadn't even put the record out yet, and I pre-ordered it because I'm like, I don't need to hear it. It's St. Vincent. I'm gonna love it. Janelle Monáe. Better believe I bought the Age of Pleasure CD and the vinyl record. Yeah. Because I like, first of all, I'm a collector at heart. Second, I like having a tangible item. I might never need to open up that CD and listen to it. I can just continue to stream it. Hooray! But I feel good having that tangible item. One of my college professors was trying to make an example, and he was like, who cares about CDs? Nobody buys CDs anymore. And he's like, raise your hand if you've honestly bought a CD. And I'm like, I just bought a CD yesterday at the record store that's like 4 blocks from my house. And he's like, shut up, Jen, you're different. And you know what? I am different. So, while I've got your attention, children of the 90s, remember these? Don't act like you don't know what these are. I know you know what these are. I know you know exactly what these are. I know you know exactly what the these are. These are those stupid little am I going to have to do this dumbass shit? Whatever. These are those stupid little white and clear stickers that would seal your CD or your DVD case closed, and you would peel them off. And if you were a dumbass like me, you felt the need to save it. I know I'm not alone! Because I've seen other children of the 90s also do this. It's not even a 90s thing. This is an early 2000s thing. This is an obsessive compulsive piece of shit. I don't know how to explain it. I can say this. I started saving these when I noticed my brother was kind of sort of saving them. And I might be wrong here. I might be wrong. But you probably can't see that. Here, how about that? That says Prince. That's a perfect circle. That's Papa Roach. There are other bands I like that don't start with P, I promise. These are just the first 3 that I picked up. That's not going to focus. Yeah, felt the need to save these. And I was on the phone with my sister, and I'm like, Kelly, why do I feel the need to save trash? She's like, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. And I'm like, shut up! You're not helping. And here, am I going to have to do this? I hope not. Can you read that? If you can't read that, it says the Academy is almost here. I don't know. I guess it kind of serves as like proof that I went out into, proof that I braved the outside. Just so I could go buy a record or a DVD. This right here proves that I spent my money. And that's how much I love these bands. And was spending my money in the early 2000s when stealing music was still pretty big. But I'm also the type of person that's like, one, I don't feel right stealing music. I would try to like make myself feel better about it. So I would be like, okay, I'm going to steal 3 songs. I'm going to illegally download 3 songs. And if I like those 3 songs, then I'm going to go buy the CD. Because if you're also a kid from the 90s, you know the heartache of waiting for that CD to come out. Okay? That CD finally fucking coming out. Saving your money, begging your parents for a ride to the mall or whatever, or Hastings, so that you could go buy it, and then getting it home and listening to it, and it sucks. Everything but the one single that came out. The whole thing, the rest of it sucks. And you're like, I just wasted $22.37 of my allowance, because we were children, to buy this CD, and now I hate it. You know. So, that's how I went about it. Hey, look, a Batman Blu-ray. And felt the need to keep this. So you can see, because I bought it. You see, kids, back in my day, we used to have to buy shit. Somewhere around here, I have an old FYE, like, membership keychain card, whatever. Wasn't that a fun walk down memory lane? I just feel embarrassed. I feel exposed. Feel exposed. But I've exposed myself. So. Oh no! Oh no, I dropped a couple. Oh no, not Fight Club. Oh no, not Metallica. Oh no. Oh no! You know, funny though, I noticed I have some of these little tab dealies for DVDs and CDs that are no longer part of my collection. So things either got lost or stolen, or I jacked somebody else's tab dealie. What a strange world we live in. What a strange brain I've got. Okay. Moving on. Let's go ahead and do the affirmation. I feel like a fool. I really do. I'm like, we're just scratching the surface of it. Today is not the day to expose me for the hoarder that I am. Today is the day that we were just going to talk about, like, hey, remember the early 2000s and the 90s? Yay. Okay, anyhow. Yeah, affirmation. I'm going to try so hard not to f this up, like I did with the one from Lady Bunny. Deepest apologies. Going to try so hard not to f this up, because I heard it's just earlier today, and that seems like it was ages ago. But it was something that the trainer said, and it was one of those, like, spark moments where I'm like, this is brilliant, and I should spread this with everybody. So she said, remember that energy is contagious. You know, so all energy is contagious. So when your strength, your happiness, your pride, your resilience, that is contagious, but so is your bad energy. So your weakness, your sadness, your misery, your woe, your sorrow, all energy is contagious. So if you're going to be spreading your energy around, you better make sure that it's worth catching. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. If that's not what she said, and I royally f***ed it up, my deepest and sincerest apologies, because I have nothing but respect for these people at Rumble Boxing. Not sponsored, but I'm open to it. I sincerely love going there, and even told them, like, if I could afford to go there all day, every day, I would be there all day, every day. I love it there. Even though I was really battling my own inner demons earlier this month and had a moment where I'm like, I don't belong here. And then
voice in the back of my head was like, okay, well then prove to them that you belong here. You know, prove to yourself that you belong here. And I keep going, and I love it. Yeah, so there's your daily affirmation. Really hope I didn't just screw it up. Could I probably say exactly what I said again verbatim? No, so I'm not going to try. So here's some good energy. Yeah. So there's that. What else do I have going on? Mostly just digging through a lot of pile of shit today. When my sister was like, hey, do you have time for a call? And I told her, like, I'm literally never doing anything ever. I always have time for a call. Let's call. And we were on the phone for 4 hours. It was wonderful. I was not planning on going through a couple of boxes of shit and finding what I found. Kind of happy that I did. And hopefully I will turn it into some good stuff. I would love to find a way to save this in an appropriate place so that it's not just in a shoebox anymore. What is that, like a scrapbook or some shit? I am not the arts and craft type. I never have been. I don't know, maybe it's not something that was like fostered appropriately when I was a child. So I've always been audibly creative, vocally creative, never visually creative, you know. So like coloring books give me anxiety. Because I'll look at a page and be like, I don't know what color to put here. I don't know what color to put here. So, my ideal coloring book is like snowmen, polar bears, penguins, harp seals, zebras, anything that's black and white. That's my ideal coloring book. Speaking of coloring books, while I was going through all of this shit, and I cannot wait to show you all of the other shit that I have, I think I hold on to it because I'm like, oh, well, this was so cool, and you're gonna look at this one day and be like, I remember when I did that, but really I don't remember anything. I'm just like, okay, I guess it's proof that I did it. Like, I have, one of the things that I found was a ticket to Six Flags. Cool. I don't remember anything from going to Six Flags because my memory is terrible. But here's a ticket showing I must have gone. I must have been. I also have a ticket to Frontier City. Oklahomies will know what that is. I'm going to stop saying that because I do not feel cool when I say it. I found a bunch of old movie ticket stubs. And that isn't even a thing anymore. When was the last time you went... First of all, when was the last time you went to the movies? Okay? And second, when was the last time you went to a movie and you got a ticket and then somebody had to rip that ticket and give the other half back to you and whoopity whoopity whoop and inside you went? I bet I know when. 2019. Think about it. We were talking about the weird shit that gives me anxiety. Can't do anything with stickers because I'm like, oh no, if I stick them, then I'll never get them back. And I was talking about Trixie and Katya. Look what I found. I hope you can see that. Their coloring book. Yeah. Have I colored it? Nope, not a single page. You know why? Gives me anxiety. Gives me anxiety. You know why it gives me anxiety? Because what are these colors supposed to be? And I know people, they can be whatever you want it to be. I hate that. I hate it. Because I'm not visually creative. Sue me. I don't know. Somebody please find me a coloring book that suits my needs. Somebody please find me a coloring book of all black and white landscapes with black and white objects, black and white animals, so that I can say I've completed a coloring book. I also have, of course, I have a Batman coloring book somewhere where I do know what colors are supposed to go there. Yes, mostly blue and gray and yellow and black. Some purple and orange and green, because those are the Joker's colors. I know what colors are supposed to go on Batman. Don't make me choose. Don't make me choose. It is very overwhelming to choose what colors go there. Which is why I think I like building Legos, because it tells you exactly what to do. And I know what you're thinking, well, paint by numbers. I don't want to do paint by numbers. If this coloring book came with instructions, Trixie's hair is supposed to be blonde. Okay. But then, did you know that you can be good at coloring? I'm not that at all. The first time I saw somebody doing like shading with like crayons and colored pencils was probably my sister Kelly, or my sister Megan, or my brother Matthew, because they are all visually creative and they can all draw. And they were like, oh, and then I'm just going to do this and add some depth. And I'm like, what? You don't just color it as hard as you can? Or you don't just color it as fast as you can? And then you're left with all of those little white spots in between? Coloring gives me anxiety. Help! Just find me a black and white coloring book that stays black and white. It's printed in black and white. It stays in black and white. And I don't have to do anything, but I can look at it and be like, wow, I did it! Look what I've accomplished! It has to exist. Coloring book for the visually anxious, please. Yeah. My mom, Lori, she is a very artsy person. She is visually creative. She nails every arts and craft that she attempts. She does crocheting. She does sewing stuff. Is that what it's called? I don't know. She does resin. She does drawings and I don't know. But she does it, and she's good at it, and it's brilliant. I can't do that. I found a collection of fortunes from fortune cookies that if I were to count up how many fortunes I had, and if that were to equate how many times I've eaten Chinese food, not just how many fortune cookies I've eaten, I'm sure the numbers would be insane. But that's for another day. Promise. It's going to get disgusting. Okay. I forgot what we were talking about. Let's go ahead and move along to the song of the day. Yeah. It's going to be The Academy Is. It has to be. I just kept stringing along a very long story. It's going to be from their Almost Here.
record. The song is called The Phrase That Pays. Happened to be my #1 favorite track from that CD, from that record, from that album. It just really struck me. And yeah, so we're going to add that to the Hi, I'm Jen Song of the Day playlist. The Academy is. Yay! I am kind of wearing shirt of the day. This shirt was designed by a Minneapolis artist, and you can almost see their Instagram tag right there. Saturated Honey. I'll add that somewhere in here so that you can go give them a follow. Yay. I do love supporting local artists of any kind. So, if you've got some art that you want me to support, I'm your gal. I keep finding these everywhere, and I'm going to be finding these everywhere for a while now. And am I going to throw them away? No, because I have a problem. Alright, I'm done. Thanks for hanging out with me as we trudge down memory lane. It was so wonderful, wasn't it? Okay. I'll see you next time. Hi, I'm Jen. Why do you keep them? I don't know, but you had to like meticulously peel it off of the plastic, and then you had to meticulously bend it and fold it onto itself so that you can cover up the sticky part with the non-sticky part. It's almost like they wanted you to keep these because they make them so symmetrical. Nikki, are you listening? Of course you're not. You didn't have to live through the burden of this bullshit. I'm so happy you're a cat. Also, I'm sorry that I'm talking to you with a normal human voice. You deserve so much better than that, Nikki. Want a treat?